Hey guys, MIGMATIS Golf with another tips and tricks video for you. Got my little bonnet on. It's a bit chilly here in Northern California. The topic of today's tips and tricks video is impact. More specifically, practicing impact, because very few of us ever do it, yet it is probably the most important part of the swing, really. I mean, it doesn't really matter how you take the club away or how you get back there, but if you get back to a good impact position, you'll be consistent in striking the ball. But what do most of us do? Well, most of us try and improve our impact whilst practicing our swing. What do I mean by that? If I'm trying to get a good impact position and I'm working on something different in my swing because I think that is leading to a bad impact, I just try and change that thing, hoping that magically impact is going to get better. Come on, man. Do you really think that's what's going to happen? Do you really think that's what, that's how it works? Of course not, okay? Impact, like anything else, has to be practiced. There are plenty of videos on YouTube about it, but essentially a good impact position would be the club returning to the same place as it was at address. Notice how I said the club, not your body, okay? Start here at address. See that? The club comes back at impact to the same place, but my body shape looks very different, okay? Why is that? Well, simply put, if you have static legs like this, like you are at address, when you get back to impact, first thing is you haven't cleared your hips, therefore you haven't created room here for the club to come down to get into that position that it was, okay? If your hips are in the way here, there's no room, you have to stand up out of it. So you cleared your hips, but more importantly, to create power, speed in this club head, we need to kind of use it like we do a whip, okay? So you need to have it lagging behind the rest of your body, like throwing a baseball, okay? Body leads, throw the ball. That's how you generate power. Some people talk about the kinematic sequence, how you generate power from the ground up through the body and finally to those fingertips to throw a ball. It's kind of similar with the golf swing. If you want to get the maximum amount of speed out of this club head, you have to lead with the body, and then there you are at impact. Now, you'll see very few golfers that have the same shaft angle, shaft plane at impact. Most of them are slightly higher, okay? Even great golfers in history, slightly higher hands. But then the true great ball strikers that had one thing in common, and that is that they got back very close to where their hands were at address. But they had cleared their hips, From the rear view here, you could see a couple of butt cheeks. And they really kept this club face square, turning, closing with the body and not just flipping the hands, okay? So what I mean by that is, as they came into impact, this club face was being closed with the turn of the body, so this arm very stable, almost still bent as it got down into impact, and none of this releasing the club, squaring it up with the hands. None of that. Squaring it with the body. You'll see a lot of the greats at impact. Almost a bent right arm slightly like this as they hit the ball. Okay, so let's move on. That's what you want to achieve. You want to practice that position. So one way of doing it, stand in front of a mirror. Get into it. Get into that impact position. Leave the club where it is, turn your hips and feel what that's like to clear your hips, leaving the club in that address position. The other great way of doing it is to get a 2x4 or the edge of the lip of a stairway or of a mat or something like this and try and move it. If I put this club, you know, the leading edge of my club head up against the edge of my golf mat here, and I try and push on the shaft, see if I can do it just by, you could probably maybe dig it into the grass if you're practicing on grass, but you can see how I'm bending the shaft. I'm kind of scraping. That's a good sensation. In order to scrape along the floor like that, it's very hard without putting your hips into it. If you turn your hips, you can get a lot more force. Okay, so that's one way of practicing impact. The other way is when you're hitting balls, is to not make a full swing. Well, make a full swing, but then stop, you know, down here somewhere and practice impact from about waist high. And why I say that is because you can, under control, very slowly, you can move all the parts the way you want to until you get to about here, and then you want to focus on hitting this ball with your body, with your hips and the turn of your upper body. Okay, not with just throwing the hands at it like that, but by turning the body into it. So here I go, under control, to the top, move down, turn the body into impact. Okay? So that was a quick one from me. You must practice your impact position. It's probably going to get you the quickest results. Dealing with all this peripheral stuff like hands and arms and all that is all great. You know, a lot of people watch their swing, including myself, and are trying to make it prettier, but is it efficient? Okay? Pretty isn't always efficient. Take one guy, Lee Trevino, ugly as hell that swing, okay, but hey, it worked great. Arnold Palmer, ugly swing, but one of the best, okay? So from here, practice that impact, and it will help your body to remember what it's like to get to here before it goes there. If it doesn't know that the club has to be delivered from here, then how do you want it to understand to get there? Okay? If you practice this a lot, then all of a sudden your brain will understand that this is the best place to deliver the club from. Okay? And then when you're trying to get to that place there, you'll have a much easier time doing it, because your body will go, okay, well, I can't start over the top because I need to be there for my impact position. So it will figure a way out. It will figure a way to get to that position. All right, I've been rambling on, so that's enough of that. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe, like it, thumbs up, thumbs down, comments, whatever you want. And yeah, I'll see you again soon with another video. MIGMATIS Golf signing off. Peace.